Hi, Paul Heffernan here again. Hey, in this video I'm going to talk about emotions and why they are the core of our problem, our anxiety, our depression, our addiction, our resentment, anger. And some people say emotions, feelings. The key thing around, and I explain this all the time to people around what happens in our life. Again, it comes back down to our negative events cause the negative emotions. They create through negative events. We've held on to stuff and it's created a negative emotion. And that negative emotion sits within us. As I explained many times, it's like you see someone who bullied you, someone who looks similar to someone who bullied you when you were younger. And it brings all that fear and anger and resentment up again. And that's the emotions controlling us. And then if you're working with someone who's like that, who reminds you, you can't have a real relationship because you've got this fear going on inside you. The emotions are jumping all around and you have no control over them. You know, you might go and do meditation, you might go talk about them, but they're still sitting there. And that's why our emotions control our life. That's why we have to be rid of the negative emotions. The positive emotions, on the other hand, are great. They make us feel good. You know, my wife and I sometimes sit down and we start planning things and we start laughing, but the energy that comes from that is phenomenal. And if we have a disagreement, the energy from that is not phenomenal. You know, we get over it very quickly these days, within minutes, or sometimes, you know, in a few minutes, we actually see what's happened, and one will say, hey, look, I'm sorry about that, and we'll clear it up very quickly. We don't allow those emotions to start building and building. You know, that's one of the things with mind shift. You know, the power of mind shift is that we release you, we show you how to be free from those past negative emotions. As I said before, we can't change an event, but those past negative emotions all built up together are controlling how we think. Now, some people might say, oh, that doesn't happen. Well, I'll tell you what, go and talk to someone who reminds you of someone you had an argument with or you had a disagreement with, and you'll soon see, okay, the emotions just jumping around inside you. You'll feel uncomfortable. You know, you'll go, oh my God, you know, and that's where the anxiety comes. You'll feel anxious. You know, you might go into a bit of depression, okay? You might go and have a drink or a drug over it because it's made you uncomfortable. You don't like the feeling. So that's how the emotions are controlling our life. Those negative emotions have been sitting there for a long time. And that's where mind shift removes them. Mind shift takes away those negative emotions. We can't change a negative event. Cannot change that somebody bullied us or somebody died or our teacher didn't like us, you know, or our boss didn't like us, or we have disagreements with work colleagues. We can't change those events, but we change and be free from the negative emotion from the past. And so they don't control us anymore. And that's when I talk about, in the previous video, I talked about the void. Once we're released to those past negative emotions, we fill the void. We fill the void with the right stuff. Okay, so that's how the negative emotions control our life. They control our thinking because they're in there and they're connected to the mind, the brain. And when those emotions start going off like fireworks, our thinking starts going down a bad way. We think negatively, we go into anxiety, we go into depression, we go into drinking, we run off, have a drink, we run off, have a drug, whatever it is. And that's the negative emotions controlling our life. So hopefully I've explained that clearly. And, you know, if you have that happening to you and you understand that, then go to www.mindshiftworks.com and look at the testimonies, look at the blogs and the videos that we've got here, okay? Just have a good look at the site. But if you really want to have freedom, and you want to be free of that, of the anxiety, the addiction, the depression, the anger, the resentment, then just do the program and read those because it'll change your life. You know, you'll have a program for life to go forward without those past negative emotions. So, hey, thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of this and hopefully you come on board. Thank you very much.